So The Adventures in Consciousness is a 10-chapter journey exploring what consciousness is, how awareness shapes perception and behavior, and how individuals and leaders can live and act with greater clarity, responsibility, and impact in a rapidly changing world. The intention of the series is to cultivate peace, healing, and joyful community. Created and facilitated by Jack Heynen, who brings over 60 years of lived experience and formal training in psychology, divinity, and social work. This series is designed to guide meaningful conversations, supporting an upward shift in awareness for the greater good.
I am now having my own intention. What do I want to shape?
Right.
With this energy, which we call consciousness, what you want to be in your life.
Right.
And consciousness is the energy that helps you shape whatever you decide in your life, in your relationships. And I want to bring respect for that. That people understand that energy and give people the liberty and the quality to shape it. My name is Jack Heynen, and I am the creator of a course called Adventures in Consciousness.
Hi, my name is Allie. I am supporting Jack Heynen today as a project lead of Adventures in Consciousness. I would love to hear a little intro to you about your past experience and what you're working on now with the Adventures in Consciousness.
The past experience, of course, has been a whole life of being a counselor, a trainer, facilitator of many groupings. And the concept of consciousness as energy, available energy, very exciting and growing in excitement. And I want to make sure that I can make a contribution to the academic world and the world as we live in.
So today we are moving into Chapter 2. Chapter 2 defines what consciousness is, how it actively shapes our experience through attention, belief, intention, and values. It presents consciousness as a universal energy or resource pool that we are constantly interacting with, whether we are aware of it or not. The quality of our values determines the quality of our outcomes. How we focus, how we believe, and the intentions we plant directly influence the direction of our lives. And I'm really excited to chat about Chapter 2 with you today. We've gone through Chapter 1 of what is an adventure. So can you give me a little bit of overview of what the main ideas are for Chapter 2?
Well, when I'm teaching at university and I have a class of 120 students and I come in with my desire to help them understand, I'm aware that everybody comes in their own unique understanding. So in about 55 minutes, I've got to get their attention. So I think part of getting their attention is for me is to be excited about the subject. They're working with consciousness right now.
Right.
That is the energy we use in our whole body system. It keeps everything moving. It keeps the whole universe going. As I mentioned in my first interview, some people say that the universe has been around for 22.4 billion years.
Right.
It's still hanging together, and whether you like it or not, it's going to continue.
Right.
But my desire is if we understand what it is, the energy, and I can do something to help people use it.
Beautiful. So one of the main ideas of the second chapter is to define consciousness itself.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Well, because I see more and more that everything keeps the world together is energy.
Right.
And it comes in different packages, electromagnetic and nuclear, you name it. So if it's all energy, then how can we use this energy? Consciousness energy. And of course, we know that consciousness comes in many packages. You know, it is my personal energy and the way I look at the world, the way I interact, the way I help. But then everything I do personally goes into my subconscious. So I'm 90% on automatic pilot based on what I have put into my subconscious. If you go deeper, you go to the unconscious. And that is the reason that if I've done some very emotional, difficult experiences, it catches the unconsciously what I may be struggling with. So that is already 3 layers. If you really want to go big time, you go to the superconscious, and that is what some people call a God, creator, source, whatever is your tradition, or universal energy. So we as a human being need to be aware that we're functioning on these different levels, And the more we can learn, the more I can make a understanding and application to the world that I live in.
And the self-awareness and awareness in your surroundings of how it might show up. So speaking about that energy and how it is in things, in people, in the movement of everything, the more awareness you have, the more you can tap into it.
You're using a very wonderful word, a very important word, and that is the word awareness. Because awareness is your own ability to examine yourself and to develop relationships with other people. And so my mind and anybody's mind is filled, life is filled with millions of memories. Have you ever noticed that you're in some situation and suddenly a memory pops into your mind and you think, now where did that come from?
I forgot about that.
Yes, and sometimes they can be the most insignificant things, but it is in our awareness. So to develop a relationship with myself first, I need to be aware of, am I tapping into happy memories? That'd be wonderful. If I want to develop a relationship, I need to be able to respect your awareness and perceptions, and that's what we're doing in later topics. So awareness is the relationship that I have with myself that I take seriously, and then realize that when I'm using consciousness, I'm using the most incredible qualitative energy.
Can you clarify that connection of awareness and consciousness?
Yeah, I mean, if I look, for example, at my own development, when I started university, I thought I knew what I had registered in. So after my first year, I thought, this is not for me. That came from my awareness of realizing, is this the path I want to be on?
How do you relate that experience to your experience with consciousness itself?
When I'm looking at consciousness, and one of the things that we can term is that there is cosmic consciousness. It is the highest and all-inclusiveness. It is the big umbrella for me. So if I'm respectful of that, then I will say, what I'm experiencing now, is that fitting my perception of the larger person I am, the intention I want to create. So that is a relationship among these parts, which I teach in this course. And the more aware I am, the more I am in step with myself.
You defined consciousness as being dynamic, universal energy put into intentional form. So this chapter is really shaped around that concept and how do you shape it? Okay, maybe you're starting to have awareness of consciousness itself. You're being aware of your surroundings. You're being aware of how your subconscious and your memories affects your current state, which is kind of a manifestation of consciousness itself, of what you're currently experiencing. But then it goes into the intentionality of shaping it. So can you give a little bit of perspective on what it means to shape consciousness?
Yeah, it's a very good question, because I believe that as we grow up and say we finish our elementary school and we think, are we going to go to university? Will I go to a trade school? Am I going to take a trip around the world? Whatever. I am now having my own intention. What do I want to shape? With this energy, which we call consciousness. If I want to shape it into, I want to travel, then I'm telling this energy, get me traveling. And that is only a replication of what you want to be in your life. And consciousness is the energy that helps you shape whatever you decide in your life, in your relationships. And I want to bring respect for that. That people understand that energy and give people the liberty and the quality to shape it.
Beautiful. That's a really cool visualization of it. Anybody can think about putty, and then it's a permission that you have the access and it's there. You have the putty in your hand. You can decide to not make anything, but that will still be a thing. You know, it's still gonna stay in whatever shape it was in. But if you use your awareness, intention, and values initially to decide, what is it that I wanna shape? And to dream and to think about the awareness piece of, who even am I? What do I wanna be? You talk about the quality of values being on the Hawkins scale, thinking about the higher vibrational energy values, thinking, the collectiveness, the love, the care for one another. And if you can use that intention to shape this clay.
I think you're really catching the point. What we're saying is, because wouldn't it be ridiculous if I said, now, I made a puppy.
Yeah.
Why didn't you make a puppy?
Right.
What's wrong with you?
Right.
No, the question is, you shaped it into a sailboat or a bird? That's marvelous. Now, that is what I call awareness exchange.
Right.
This is when you say, how did you end up? Well, because we had a dog back home, and I was thinking of my dog, which is in your full awareness. And then I want to say, tell me more about the dog.
Yeah, the curiosity aspect.
And now we're building
in.
a relationship.
Yeah.
So this isn't an intellectual concept alone.
Right.
This is energy shaped into form into your intention.
What is your personal and collective experience with consciousness?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, because obviously within my own individual consciousness, I am drawing upon the experiences, who I am, where I'm at, where I want to go. So I grew up in a wonderful Christian family. It was very natural to go to church. Nobody argues about that. So I was exposed to trying to understand what is this all about. And so that became a very normal experience. So my association with Creator, with God, wonderfully harmonious. And so that was then later on to say, no, that is consciousness from a spiritual point of view. So I think the past helped me to shape myself into my career. And of course, with 3 degrees, as we've mentioned in the first interview, it led eventually to a counseling practice, a training practice, and here we are a few years later, now having YouTubes to help me share the significance of this energy, which is available to everybody.
Right.
That's wonderful.
So do you feel that consciousness has shaped the decisions that you've made in your life?
Totally. While I went through difficult times, and I felt a period when I was lost and I was not sure which direction to go, I then took a year private time to say, you need to get your own thoughts together. You need to connect with what you already received from your lovely family. I grew up in Holland, but the fact is, prayer was a directional point for me. And as I trusted in cosmic consciousness, I felt directed and guided. And I thought, wow, how can I help other people find that direction?
And the inspiration in your life of when you feel lost, and the experience of having had awareness to think about, okay, what are my intentions, my values, where is my awareness? Using that and your experience shaping that and seeing the joy and the direction and the clarity that came out of tapping into that.
Often when I watch a debate among several highly educated people. When, say, one person will say, the way I look at life, I only am concerned about what is matter, what is the stuff that you can research, that you can have data, because the whole universe is consisting of reductionist matter. That's one side. And they have no much room for spirituality because they can't prove it. So, like, don't talk to me about that. Another person says, no, my ability to examine reality is to be open to thought or intentions or synchronicity. As a scientist, they're using a different net, you might say, to catch understanding. So what I want to say to both is, please open yourself up to the bigger dimension of the universe. And the universe is energy. It's personalized energy. And you might express it through your faith or through your intention or your abilities, but get out of your intellectual only perception, work it through your heart into your head, and then you're going to be a better scientist.
And just see what happens.
And feel it. Feel it on. It's not just thought.
In the process of shaping, you have to feel that shift, feel the love and the values and the the intention so strongly. I've personally had experience with awareness of it and the shaping of it. And I think about that piece of joy that we've talked about that before. When you plant a seed and you don't know, it takes a little bit of while to have trust that a bud will come out. But once it does, it's so satisfying, and you start to see it moving in the right direction, and you start to have more faith in it and more trust that, oh yeah, I can plant a seed and that a sprout will come.
I catch your excitement about how you're describing it. And as I'm listening to you, suddenly in my awareness comes Mother Teresa. Now, we know the tremendous contribution that Mother Teresa has made. But as a nun, she then thought, oh my God, I care about all these people. As she went to India and other places, they need to be healed. So that was awareness. And that was a value placed, but it was already in consciousness. That was the energy.
Right.
But she shaped it to say, I am going to create a group of people that care about, and look what her life has been,
Right.
and how many people have been blessed. What an example she's been.
Right.
So I think it's very important that people understand, what is this consciousness energy? Okay, first of all, like, get to your computer, check it out. Don't just take my word for it, and then let's see how people have used it and how can you use it.
Right.
Then we're on the right path.
What do you think the importance is of sharing this message, sharing this conversation at this time?
Well, I see this already happening on the planet. If you take, for example, while we are still fighting each other on land, and the whole Russian thing and the Ukrainian thing and silly, stupid stuff in my mind, and we have the International Space Station, and we have members of the different countries getting along and doing research. That is an example of integrated consciousness. And since we can do that, why don't we do more of that on the planet? And so they're using, in my mind, the higher levels of quality consciousness. Consciousness is. It's everywhere. And as we deal with it, the next chapter, supercoherence, how it all takes place. So I think we need to understand that we are tremendously blessed on this planet. That as we open up our understanding and we swap stories and develop a relationship at home, in the family, in the business, in the country, then the planet is going to go the right way.
What are 3 steps that people can try from this chapter to actually apply it today, being able to shape that energy today?
Well, number 1 is go beyond reading a book. So understand the concept, right? So that's on an intellectual sense. So come to understand how it's working already in yourself, in good communities. And then also I would say become aware of yourself. Visit the great theologian Descartes said, I think, therefore I am.
Right.
So the idea of we are aware as human beings, that's personally. Now I want to need to be aware of who's my neighbor. Now I want to have and apply that consciousness to form actions together. And that is how the universe is already doing it. My job is, let's get excited about it, let's learn it, let's apply it, and let's make an upshift of this planet, a improvement.
Yeah. Let's say somebody is almost grasping this concept, but they want to try it on a small scale because we can understand a concept, we can read about it, we can think about it, we can read about other people's experience, but nothing beats experiencing it ourselves on even a small scale. So we've talked about how to access that awareness in ways of gratitude, being aware of what's actually around you, being aware of how privileged we are to live in this beautiful world and notice all of the beautiful things that are happening. So that being a practice of gratitude, of just making eye contact with people on the street, holding the door for somebody, or doing a small act of kindness, or just witnessing somebody and connecting to a degree of just, I see you.
Somebody told me it takes fewer muscles to smile than to frown.
Right.
And he says, if somebody doesn't smile at you, give them one of yours. And I thought, what a beautiful thought. If they don't smug him, and you know, when you're in a supermarket and you're standing in line and you're somebody that is maybe senior, you know, wants to get action, and you give them a smile saying, why don't you take ahead? And they just change this kind of upset feeling into, that is the use of consciousness.
Right. And that's such an actionable step of feeling and doing that, and then witnessing yourself to say, okay, what was the shift that just happened in me? If I would normally do this, how can I shift that attitude by consciously holding the door for somebody, consciously smiling at somebody, and then notice that ripple effect. Notice that passed on to the next person, or notice the difference in how you feel, an individual use of consciousness, but then how that ripples to others. That's something you could do today to just start to be aware and start to shape consciousness.
I think that's beautifully said, because consciousness, while it is a concept, and I'm trying to bring that out on different levels, it's really a personal energy that you shape. It's like the putty. And I remember one time, I am no gardener, believe you, but I remember one time I wanted to have a package of seed, and I wanted to see if I could actually plant them. And I don't think my wife even knew that I had put a package of seeds into a little dirt thing, and I hid it in the garage. Then I put a lamp on top, and I wanted to see if these dead seeds would actually sprout.
Right.
And would you believe, after 2 or 3 weeks, I saw a little green one, another little green one, and I ended up watering it and caring for it, and probably praying for it, until finally I had little tomato. Listen to yourself with ideas you have. And these ideas have a quality to them that is consciousness already existing in the universe, is talking to you.
Yeah, that's a good example.
And so when you do that, and then people say, you're so excited, what are you excited about? I'd like to share, I have just decided that I'm going to go into this career direction, or I'm tired of this company, I want to go somewhere else. And you sound excited. Yeah, why? Is because that person is creating the putty into a new shape. They get excited about that. And then when you say you're not just excited about your putty, now you ask the other person, so what your life is all about?
Yeah.
And maybe that'll develop into a relationship. You're using consciousness already existing in your personal sense, and then go beyond the personal to your family and to your community. That's why I'm excited about it.
It's such an amazing conversation to start. What can people expect from the next chapters in the series?
Well, the next chapter, which is on super coherence. So we'll spend a whole chapter saying, let's define that term, and let's see if we can apply that term in making consciousness within us, in our own life, come alive. And then on we go into what is attitude all about? How do you change negative attitudes into positive attitudes? And I did a 3-day course on that for 20 years.
Right.
I want to build that into this course. Then we get into, I am very aware as a therapist and trainer that we are very much ego-based. And ego is normal. We have to have ego, but ego needs to be moved into what we call the spirit of your life. And the more you have a spirit, then you are less conscious about just you and surviving.
Right.
Now we're turning to the us of
Right.
life.
Cool.
And that's moving from ego into spirit.
Yeah.
And then we get into fixed on our own beliefs. And we think that my beliefs are better than yours.
Right.
Right? So we create a barrier. And we see that in religion. Oh, my religion is better, and you know, etc. Or we see that in countries. And so we need to come and see our belief system causing the hardening of our categories,
Right.
or are we open to share beliefs? And then we get into systems. We need to change our political systems. We need to change our educational systems. We have to teach our children differently. And so number one is make money. And what we do to the planet, who cares? That's a wrong leadership.
Right.
And so we have to change the system and say, people are important. And the way that leadership is going to bring people together And then all of a sudden, and we're going to respect the planet. So this course is about changing systems. Then we get down to, what are your intentions? Are your intentions honorable? Are they all inclusive? Or are they, I am better than you? That doesn't fit our sense of creator.
Right.
The creator creates and includes all. And the final one is, you got to shape it. You got to funnel it. So I have to shape conversations.
Yeah.
That's funneling. So let's put the whole thing together.
Right.
What's the nutshell and what are we going to do about it?
Sounds like an amazing series, and we're excited to move through the next chapters moving forward.
It's wonderful to be able to exchange that with you.
So thank you so much for explaining this whole chapter to us of what is consciousness, and we'll look forward to the next one.
Right on.
Thank you so much for watching. We'd love to hear your thoughts about where you've experienced consciousness in your life, and might be what you'll do next based on some of the suggestions we've created in this chapter. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, and we'll look forward to chatting with you at the next chapter.